Hello everyone, and I'm Sujindran and we are from Group 10. So today we will be discussing on one of the most infamous corruption case in history, the Ferdinand Marcos corruption case. But before that, let me introduce you to my group members. So these are my group members for the team. So next, let's go to the introduction part. So okay, here. So the Ferdinand Marcos corruption case stands as one of the most notorious examples of kleptocracy in the modern history. During his presidency, Marcos systematically embezzled billions of dollars, manipulated the economy through crony capitalization, and silenced opposition to maintain his grip on his power. His corrupt practice had devastating effects on the Philippines, leading to economically instability, skyrocketing national debt, and the erosion of democratic institutions. Despite efforts to recover his stolen wealth, complex money laundering schemes and offshore accounts had been difficult to track. To this day, less than 10% of his illicit fortune has been claimed, highlighting the long-term impact of the large-scale corruption. So now I'll pass the next slide, which is the background, to Joshua.
And now I'll be talking about the background regarding the Ferdinand Marcos case. Ferdinand Marcos ruled the Philippines from 1965 to 1986. During that period of time, there was a lot of authoritarian control and widespread corruption. In 1972, Marcos declared martial law, which consolidated power and silenced the opposition, who were trying to bring to light the corruption that was happening during his regime. Under his leadership, billions of dollars were siphoned into offshore accounts and hidden through business proxies, leaving the Filipino people to bear the burden of the economic mismanagement. The extravagance of the Marcos family became infamous. For example, his wife had the world's biggest shoe collection of 3,000 pairs. While many Filipinos lived in poverty, their leaders indulged in unchecked luxury. A very noticeable case that happened under his regime was the Batan nuclear power plant, which cost about 2.3 billion, a colossal failure that never operated due to safety concern and shady dealings. These failures highlight how greedy overshadowed progress during Marcos' regime. And in conclusion, Marcos' time in power served as a stark reminder of how unchecked authority can devastate a nation, and corruption ruins the country.
Economic and social impact. There are a few consequences for economics. First is the national debt skyrocketed due to the mismanagement on corruption, and international loans meant for development were diverted to private accounts. At last is that poor infrastructures due to overpriced and unfinished projects. As for the social consequences, the gaps between rich and poor was widened, and government mistrust due to widespread human rights violation, and lastly, it sparked people power revolution in 1986, leading to Marcos' downfall.
Power can rewrite history, but it can't erase the truth. Ferdinand Marcos looted billions, silenced critics, and grew with fear. But the law? The law said he should pay the price. For corruption, the Anti-Graft Act, Marcos' billion in stolen wealth, that's 15 years in prison and total asset forfeiture. For bribery, Presidential Decree number 46, accepting lavish gift and commission, he should have been removed from office and jailed. For embezzlement, Revised Penal Code Article 217, he robbed public funds, leaving Filipino in poverty. The law says life imprisonment and full repayment. For martial law abuses, Proclamation number 1081, He jailed opponents, ordered tortured, and extended his rule. That's life behind bars. And for military overreach, Presidential Decree No. 1737, illegal detention, forced disappearances. Under martial law, he could have faced the death penalty. But Marcos never faced justice. Instead, his family walked free, even in power. Justice delayed is justice denied. But the people never forget.
Hello, my name is Vasan. I'll be talking about the People Power Revolution in relation to the Ferdinand Marcos case. The People Power Revolution was a peaceful uprising in February 1986 that led to the fall of Ferdinand Marcos. After ruling the Philippines for over 20 years, Marcos faced growing opposition, especially after the assassination of his critic Benigno Aquino Jr. The revolution was triggered by the fraudulent 1986 snap elections, where Marcos attempted to stay in power by rigging the results. In response, millions of Filipinos led by Corazon Aquino took to the streets demanding change. Religious leaders and even military officials joined the movement, setting the stage for one of the most remarkable peaceful protests in history. The revolution officially began on February 22, 1986, when Cardinal James called on Filipinos to protest. What made this movement unique was that it wasn't just civilians. Key military figures, including Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile and General Fidel Ramos, also turned against Marcos. For 4 days, millions of people occupied EDSA, creating a human barricade. Instead of fighting, they handed flowers and food to soldiers. This act of unity and non-violence helped prevent bloodshed. Finally, on February 25, Marcos fled to Hawaii, marking the end of his 21-year rule. The success of the People Power Revolution had a lasting impact. It restored democracy in the Philippines, bringing Corazon Aquino to power as the country's first female president. This revolution also became an inspiration for other non-violent movements around the world, proving that dictatorships can be overthrown without violence. More importantly, it demonstrated the power of unity. Ordinary citizens, religious groups, and even the military came together to stand against corruption and oppression. The People Power Revolution remains one of history's most significant peaceful uprisings, reminding us that when people demand justice, change is inevitable. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Jamin. Today I will be discussing some key lessons learned from historical governance issues. First, the dangers of concentrated power. When too much power is in the hands of one leader, as in the case of Marcos, corruption can flourish. He controlled the government, judiciary, and military, which weakened opposition and accountability. Second, the importance of strong institutions. Institutions like the media, electoral bodies, and anti-corruption agencies play a crucial role in checking power. When these are weakened, corruption becomes harder to control. This highlights the need for independent institutions to ensure fairness and transparency. Finally, holding leaders accountable. Marcos evaded justice for years, and even today, efforts to recover ill-gotten wealth continue. This serves as a reminder that future leaders must be both legally and publicly accountable to prevent history from repeating itself. In conclusion, strong institutions and accountability are essential to prevent abuse of power. Thank you.
Hi, so I'll be talking about ways to prevent corruption. So the first thing would be strengthening anti-corruption laws. How we can do this is by, first of all, enforcing strict penalties for public fund misuse. Secondly, would be establish independent anti-corruption agencies. The second method is transparency and whistleblower protection. So make the government spending publicly accessible by our people. So whatever the government spends, the people can have a look at it and have a statement about it. The second will be protect whistleblower from retaliation. So protect the people that has come up and has voiced out about the corruption in their workplace and etc. So the third and the last one would be public engagement and education. So how they can do this is by, first of all, to teach about ethics and accountability in schools, universities and colleges. And the last one would be encourage citizens reporting, and also media freedom. So what this means is people, as the general public, we should be able to voice out and also post when things don't seem right regarding corruption or anything else. With that, I'm ending my part. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'll be concluding this presentation today. The case of Ferdinand Marcos in the Philippines is a prime example of how corruption destroys, weakens, and harms a country. By demanding transparency and accountability, we can prevent those in power from abusing their position for personal gain. Exposing corruption and holding leaders responsible is essential to protecting democracy and ensuring a just society. Organizations like Human Rights Foundation play a crucial role in fighting corruption. But lasting change starts with us. When we stay informed and push for integrity, we create a future where corruption has no place. Thank you.
This is the references that we used up to get the information about this research, and that's it from us. So thank you for listening.